Okay, folks, pretty sure the video is recording. If I'm kind of coming off a bit loud, it's because I'm trying to talk over the sound of the defogger going in my car. But I'm gonna turn it off now because the windshield's pretty much defogged. But anyways, I haven't really uploaded any Nofap, update vlog. I've been toying with the idea of doing more videos where I'm just kind of off the cuff talking about other subjects, stuff that is on my mind, sort of a deal. But right now I want to do a Nofap update vlog. I'm not sure if you can really see my face or not, but if you can hear my voice clearly. But right now it kind of feels like I'm creating a video kind of like Shadow Grave would do back in the day when he still posted on YouTube. Maybe you want to check out his videos because he really I think he says some pretty profound stuff about Nofap and just the internet and whatnot, a lot of cultural type stuff. That at least for me, it was one of those channels that I went to where I found where I started sort of having some maybe a deeper understanding of a lot of what's going on with regards to this. But pardon me if I seem like I'm a bit all over the place. The last 2 to 3 weeks have been kind of tough mostly with regards to Nofap. And I'll explain why that's been the case in a moment, because I have not relapsed. I think I basically say that I'm in sort of this in-between state where and I've been here before, especially during this streak. I mean, you get far enough along there, and damn, this couple of cars in front of me are going super slow. I don't understand why. We're just in the fast lane, but it's kind of annoying me. But basically 2-3 weeks ago, some of my coworkers invited me out after work. Usually I just I don't do that because of obvious reasons, especially past experiences. And if I can get around these folks, I'm gonna do it. But I've had past experiences with coworkers. If you sort of start not to sound all wishy-washy or emo, but develop a connection with them outside of work, it it complicates things. Not always. It's not always going to go to crap or anything, but it's just something you got to sort of weigh the pros and the cons. And the truth is, when you're at work, it's you're almost forced to try to get along with people you might not necessarily get along with outside of work, just so you can get that paycheck, make that money, pay the bills, that sort of deal. And that's why in a lot of work environments they try to be super, I want to call it being inclusive or so, because it's it's kind of okay, we're bringing together sort of a diverse group of individuals. We want them to all be able to work in a in a conducive environment, so that the company can succeed and we can all make a living and more accomplish our our overarching purpose, that sort of deal. But these folks are most of them are ones that I get along with really well. To the extent that it's kind of they're work friends, and they invited me out to go play some pool. But the problem is that they invited this other dude who, as it turns out, they've all been having issues with. And I think, with me, the issues I was having with him stem from the fact that, I think I still have this other video that I might want to upload. I hope I didn't delete it, but it relates to this topic that's really been, quote unquote, near and dear to me as of late. But, in my attempts to sort of develop a rapport with this dude, as a coworker, we got into talking about different subjects, and I'll say that the guy's been acting, kind of creepy towards all of us. But with me, it was kind of like, we're too alike, we're so alike. He'd be like that. He'd be drawing sketches of me at work, which is really weird. But beyond that, it was kind of getting into talking about history or family history, and sort of that whole idea of the past being a really touchy subject with him. And I tried to extricate myself from that, eventually, once I figured that, hey, this is something, this dude really doesn't want to talk about. But it's almost like it triggers something in him, and then, you all as a group go out to a pool hall, and, people get some drinks in them, and, they say, drunk words are sober thoughts. Well, stuff started coming out that was, kind of edging on, him almost threatening me, and, making, racially charged remarks, and that sort of deal. And, I obviously got uncomfortable. He'd already been getting in the face of some other people in the group, sending messages to this, girl in our group, even though he himself is supposed to be married, to a woman, and sending a message to her, for instance, saying that, oh, you're so cute, and that sort of deal, or getting in the face of the other guy and saying, by the way, I'm buying everybody drinks, but we're just co-workers, we're not friends, and kind of the other dude being like, what the heck, why are you saying that, and this all went down after, the rest of us, it was 2 or 3 of us the night before had all gone out for some food, dinner after work, and we were, hung out. We had a really good time, and these other guys are not, not like that. But this whole experience the day after that, or the night after that, it not only set off sort of a, it sort of, struck a deep chord in me in terms of some stuff relating to my family history, and that sort of deal, and the loss of family members due to let's just say substance abuse, that sort of deal. But it really put me in a funk, and even though logically I knew, and the other folks in the group had told me, forget about this dude, he's just he's an a-hole, or whatever, he's a jerk, he's a douche, whatever. You do you sort of a thing. And it's kind of logically, I was kind of I really don't care, what this guy, thinks. I am kind of concerned, with the sort of the red flag this guy's, giving off. He's the guy who, just really wanted to talk about politics, and I think to a lesser extent religion as well, in the workplace, and that sets off alarm bells for me. It'd be kind of like a girl getting really super flirty and wanting to get at you at work, even if she's cute. There was that girl at that other workplace that caused a little drama with me, or I kind of fell for a lot of her stuff. But it's kind of the same sort of vibe of if this person trying to find a way to sort of set me up and get me to spill the beans on something that he can use against me to oust me, because he sees me as actually competition, or someone who he wants to bring down because of some that's not even something that I did or said or whatever, is that what's really going on here, sort of a deal. And it put me in this funk where, like I said, even though logically I knew it was all a bunch of bull hockey, it kind of brought a bunch of really negative emotions out of me. And even though it was we had first it's a short weekend, 3 days off, because it's 4 days on, 3 days off, 3 days on, 4 days off. It kind of alternates like that. And I kind of started to bounce back from it to a certain extent. I was kind of put in this sort of state of mind where, relapses, I wouldn't say inevitable, but, I'd be in danger of that. And if I remember correctly, because, as you go on with Nofap, like, it's like 2 to 3 weeks, let's say, at a time, you might have a wet dream naturally. But this, being put in this negative funk kind of sped it up. Because I ended up having one of those. I don't think I've marked it on my calendar, because I need to get a new calendar to begin with, but ended up having one of those. And then it's sort of like, the chaser effect, hung around for a bit. And just to kind of stay in this sort of state of mind where I've been more and more open to things like Googling, the names of certain air quotes actresses, or not looking at straight up like, pornographic images, but images of those actresses, like, obviously with their clothes on, or listening to, the kind of stuff that, you would think would not get by YouTube's, filtering mechanism, but does, that basically like borders on pornography, but isn't exactly, or it's like the kinds of imagery where it's like, like I said, it's not literally like, some, naked, woman, let's say, some of these porn actresses, but it's like them, but like they're quote unquote scantily clad, or some of that nature where like you're bordering on going into pornography. Maybe some people would call it edging, some people might not, because I obviously did not engage in the actual physical action that typically goes along with that, but kind of like engage in the kind of stuff that you would do to almost like prime your system, thinking that, if I do this, and I go to sleep, I'll have, a nocturnal emission. And, one of the dangerous things about that is that, like, once or twice it might work, and you kind of get hooked on, here's how I can, sort of like, go through this sort of like loophole where I'm not PMOing, necessarily. I'm not literally doing that, but I'm kind of triggering the same neural pathway and getting, similar results, and I don't have to sort of get the full-blown, negative effects of that, and I'm not, having to feel guilty and, shameful or, ashamed or what have you, and have all the, full-blown, like, depression and anxiety and all that. But again, the problem is, it might work once or twice, but it usually just kind of like leaves you in that in-between state where you're kind of turned on but not. And if you do that enough times, the danger, of course, is that eventually, you will relapse. You'll finally go, screw it, I want the full thing. And you'll try and rationalize, how it's okay because, you've gone through so many days, weeks, months, etc. You deserve the reward, you deserve the reset, or that sort of thing. And in all honesty, like, a lot of this sort of stuff also kind of ties in with times where I've kind of pushed past or accomplished some major financial goal or some other goal I've set for myself. Kind of like if I was sitting there going, okay, in 6 months, where do I want to be, in terms of X, Y, Z? It's like if I was sitting there and I'd lost, 30 pounds, fat off my body, or I, had paid off the next, major, loan, and I was sitting there thinking like, in 6 to 9 months I could be debt-free sort of thing. Like, I would almost feel like it's kind of like this huge build-up to, the next level, the next state, and then that sort of plateauing. And a lot of times I also kind of feel vulnerable to this kind of stuff after I've pushed past that, because it's kind of like, it almost feels like, building yourself up to lifting up this, new, level of weight, and then you reach that, and now you want to sort of, rest and recuperate and not really try as hard for a while until, you get back to the gym, or you get back to whatever you're working on and go for the next level sort of, But of course that's dangerous because, you're going to end up really undoing a lot of your progress, whether it's, you want to talk about in terms of weight loss or finances or, Nofap or what have you. And I definitely see the effects. I'm feeling the effects. Again, it's not like I've relapsed or I'm going to reset my counter, but I'm definitely sort of like, peering a bit over the edge, if you will, and seeing like, okay, I could relapse. I'm in this kind of state of mind where if I just, sleep this off over the next 2 to 3 days, I should be all right. And I'm kind of feeling a bit like dirty or like icky or what have you, especially after last night, because last night was like the last time that I've, at present at least, done any of that listening to that kind of music. That's supposed to, induce some sort of experience like that. And, I turned it off like sort of halfway through the night, or maybe like a third of the way through the night. And I was kind of like, forget this, I'm just going to go to bed. And so maybe it's been a sort of a combination of just the effect of being sort of like triggered or activated by that, combined with sort of the feelings of like sort of a phobia or a fear or a concern or an anxiety about having a nocturnal mission. Wait, do I gotta get up and so do like a sponge bath in the morning sort of thing, and actually not having to, but sort of having anxiety about it. That's kind of got me in this sort of funk right now. And of course the irony is that like as of recently at work, partially because I was really like putting myself out there, and also talking to some of the folks in sort of the leadership positions, saying, hey, I'd really like to learn this kind of like more higher end type stuff. Could you have me trained on this, or this is where I like to be trained. And also the fact that I applied to the position for the lead for my shift. I'm really getting trained in some more high intensity stuff, and it's like I need to like not be in this sort of like distracted, disarrayed, if that's even a word, sort of state of mind that I'm kind of in, where I'm sort of not just all like up in my feelings, but going internal, where I'm just sort of like sitting there thinking about this sort of stuff when I really need to be like in the now. And today may be a bit difficult. I'll have to sort of figure a way through it. Maybe if I'm able to take like a break and go like take a quick nap or so, that might like kind of like allow my body to sort of process some of this stuff out of its system, so to speak. I found in the past that if I work through a few hours and I kind of like take that, because they do allow us to take some naps. We have like a nap because we're talking about like working 12 hours, and they have a night shift, and even though I'm on the day shift now, they'll still allow us to do that. If I find a way to do that, then I should be able to sort of take the edge off of what I'm kind of like going through now. But there's that, and then having applied to this position, they had like a 30-minute interview. I think it's more like a phone screening scheduled for this Friday for me, and the likelihood is I'm probably not going to get this. There's a couple other people I think in the running who are like backup leads themselves, so they have actual experience, like maybe some projects they've worked on, or just having been placed in charge of the lab, different times. But even I was told that even if I don't get the position, which it's probably not going to go to me, I've tried to figure out, like, or find out what kind of questions they ask, so I can have some answers, but even just applying shows that, I have this interest in growing with the company, and they would most likely, waitlist me for, backup lead, especially given that they'll probably give the position to someone who is a backup lead now, which would then open up that backup lead position. And I've been trying to figure a way forward to grow with the company, because I've honestly been really frustrated lately, for a number of reasons. Some of them have to, and obviously, I've stated some of them with regards to the one other coworker, but some of it's just had to do with career growth and trying to move forward in life, especially as I get to this towards a state of being where I don't have any, where I wouldn't have any debt, unless let's say I might be flush with cash, from savings or something like that. It becomes less and less about just do I have a steady paycheck, and more about do I feel fulfilled in my career? Do I feel like I'm really making a difference, or am I really doing something that I want to do, sort of a deal? And they have some engineering positions at this company, but there hasn't really been a clear pathway forward. One thing I've figured is becoming the lead for the shift, and then you get experience troubleshooting the machines, because so much of the time they got engineers equipment engineers at the company. They really need the leads to be able to fix a lot of things on their own, because engineers can't always be there. And because of that, you would kind of get the relevant experience being the leader. It would almost be like being at least partially speaking, being sort of like an equipment maintenance technician, that sort of like an instrumentation technician, because you just kind of have that built into the position. And obviously, being the lead, you end up interacting with a lot of other folks. If somebody from some other team needs to go into the lab and use one of the machines, they have to go and ask you, so they get to know you. Or you talk about the engineering side of things, you had to interact with them in addition to trying to troubleshoot or fix these machines while you're doing your job, that sort of thing, among other duties or responsibilities. And one thing I've read is getting out of, or moving out of just being a manufacturing technician or a bioprocess manufacturing technician. One of the main fields that they'll take a lot of experienced technicians in and make them engineers or scientists is MSAT, which is manufacturing science and technology. And it's sort of a way of sort of transitioning out of that to more process dev type work. And even then, I kind of feel still going for the lead position would really be sort of the key thing of getting me out of or beyond just being some technician, And I've been relatively okay with just being some technician, in the recent past, because it was just I need a job and I need experience, or need the kind of stability now that I can just focus on getting through life. And if I have a steady paying job, then I would have the luxury of sort of not having to worry about that, and I could just kind of focus on other aspects of life, Well, that's kind of the state I'm in right now. It's what is it? It's the 20th of February. So I'm rapidly getting close to 8 months. But, you know, again, I'm kind of in this danger zone where I could relapse and, you know, have to set the counter back to 0. Because I've been kind of skirting the edge there. Peering over the edge, you know, that sort of deal. And I felt like I had to make this video just to kind of get a lot of the stuff off my chest. But in many ways, like, this channel is kind of just meant sort of like a way of self-therapy, if you will. I feel if I can talk about these things and just put this out there, and obviously, like, you know, I don't want to focus on graphic details because that's really not the point of it. I'm not trying to make anything like that. I'm just trying to sort of get things off my chest and process thoughts and events, and perhaps even get some guidance or advice. But anyways, I don't think I'm going to be late today. I thought I was going to be late today. I mean, I've only been late. You know, looking at the clock, it's about like 6:45. I think I've only been late like one time since I changed shifts, and that was due to there being a couple of accidents out on the road. There was like this one where this guy like spun off the road and basically closed off an on-ramp to, you know, this one freeway that I needed to take in order to get to the main thoroughfare, main freeway. And then the other one was this, like, I think it was a 3 or 4 car pileup. Ended up being like 20 minutes late, but, you know, I let the lead know, and it was like kind of really an exception to the rule, because I'm typically there like, you know, 10-15 minutes early, so I can kind of like get my coffee or my tea, you know, and you know, chill before starting my work day. But oh, and one other thing this morning that I think might be contributing to my sort of state of mind is that not only have I been kind of like basically off my diet for like a week and a half, I need to bounce back to, but usually with my morning routines, you know, depending upon the day, like, I'll typically like wait to get my caffeine in until I'm at work. I'll just say that the coffee and the tea at work is a higher quality than that which I've been able to sort of requisition at home. That, and, you know, because the other day I had some coffee in the morning. Oh, and I think I did remember. Yeah, I put the heavy cream back. I've been using heavy cream with my coffee, and along with some, you know, like 0-calorie sweetener. But I had breakfast, and it was basically like some leftover coconut chicken curry from last night. And you know, usually I go into work and I don't really have like all that much in my you know, in my belly, in my stomach. I might get like you know, some like cheese stick or something like that in the morning, just to have something to burn, you know. But I don't know. It's kind of like, you know, I've been feeling kind of bloated as a result of, you know, getting back on a really like heavily, you know, carb rich, you know, diet or intake. But then like having breakfast plus caffeine this morning and already kind of being in this, you know, funky state. I'd say it hasn't really been the best combination of factors, but you know, like I said, hopefully, you know, I just kind of power through the day. Maybe I have to take a nap or, you know, something like that, where I can just, you know, lay down and let my mind drift away. Obviously, I'm not wanting some sort of admission to take place at work. That would be super, super awkward, and no, you know, I've been lucky enough to not have that happen ever. I don't even want to really think about that happening, because that would not be cool. But yeah, and especially since we don't really, it's not like we have these full-on hazmat suits we wear where you can kind of sort of cover it up. Yeah, I don't really want to think about that. That kind of makes me more like anxious, I guess you could say. But dang, all these thoughts swirling in my head right now. Anyways, that's kind of like where I'm at right now. I'm assuming I get my mind right in the next few days when I get to that interview, and come what may, I keep my job. Maybe I'll have something more, potentially interesting to say about different stuff, different subjects. But right now, I'm just gonna sign off. It's been about half an hour of me sort of like rambling. And I'll try to get the actual day count right, and I can add that to the description just to sort of keep track of things. But anyways, I'll see you folks around. Coming up on the exit for me to take, so need to be focused. But again, I'll see you folks around. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.